So this is the installation video for your STARGARD adapter for your STARLINK antenna mounting to your WINEGARD on your mast on your RV. Today we're going to go through and show you how to do both the standard size, which is what I have here, and a mini. The standard was what I had on my RV. We just went 6,000 miles and 23 days with it all over the country, so this STARGARD has been well tested. But we're going to put it together with the mini because the mini is the only one that's got a little more complexity than the standard does. So let's get the antenna out of the way and show you how we're going to start the install. The nice thing about this is you can do 90% of the install process in the comfort of your home, in your AC, before you actually go out to the RV and get on the roof. So before you start, you should have your antenna, you should have your mobility adapter from STARLINK. Mine says StarGear on it, don't know why. And you should have your STARGARD adapter from me. Now, here's the way what you need to pull out. The first thing we're going to need to get is out of your STARLINK mobility adapter. We can set the instructions aside. You're going to want the adapter itself. This is the mini adapter. That's what the standard looks like. So you can see the difference, and you can also see how much more angle there is on the standard than on the mini. That also makes it why we have to change the bolts some. So you want the mobility adapter. You're going to want the little tool they provide. We don't need it right now, so I'm going to put it down here by the other tools. And we're going to need this box of bolts. We set this box aside. We're going to open up the bolts. There are two types of bolts. There's a bolt and there's a screw. We will not be using the wood screws, but we will be using all the bolts and nuts and washers that come with it. Since we're doing now, that's what we need out of the STARLINK mobility adapter. So now let's see what comes in the box with the STARGARD. You're going to get a set of instructions that's going to show you in condensed form what I'm showing you now. You're going to get the STARGARD adapter. That is this. You're going to get 3 zip ties, and we're going to set those aside because we don't need them just yet. You're going to get 2 long, small stainless steel bolts, and if you order the mini version of the STARGARD, you will get 1 short fat bolt that we'll use that's the same size as those. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put it together. So we're going to take the small bolt and we're going to put it through the washer that was included with the mobility adapter. Now, so what we're first going to do with the washers on the head side, we're going to feed them through and into, and that's a really kind of a tight squeeze. There. Can you see inside there? And we're going to do one on the other side. Like that. Ta-da! You can hold the 2 bolts in there, and we're going to put, with it like that, we're going to take the STARLINK mobility adapter and we're going to put it on those 2 bolts with the back of the mobility adapter, has the set screws on it, to the back of our STARGARD. Our STARGARD has that on it, but it also says STARGARD right there. So on the embossed side is the rear. So we're going to put that on it, and then we're going to put 2 of the nuts, and all we want to do is just get them started. All right, so those 2 are on there. Now we put one of the other washer on the short bolt. Now the short bolt on the Mini has to go from the bottom up, from this side of the STARGARD, because your plug comes in here. So this bolt has to go with the head here, coming this way, and then we'll put the washer here. I mean the nut on it here. We'll put the nut on this side. There we go. And really, folks, that's it. Now we're going to take the appropriate size. It'll either be a 13 or a 14, depending on the short bolt's going to be a 14. And then we're going to put our ratchet on it, tighten these up. And then on the other side, since we use their bolts are 14s. So we're going to put a 14 box in there, and our 14 ratchet here, and away we go. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Do that side, do this side, zip, 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 and we're done. And when you're done, it'll be nice and tight and snug. Don't over tighten it because you don't want to break it, but it's got to be tight, snug, so it doesn't vibrate. The standard is easier. All the bolts and washers use the standards that come with in this box. There's 4 of them, and you'll use all 4 of them in here. And all 4 heads go against the plastic. The nuts go on that side, so you can just zip them down and zip them tight. Once you do that, you're done. So this is now solid connected to there, okay? Now, once we do that and we have these 2 pieces connected together, the next thing we want to do is we want to go and install this on our RV. When we go out to the RV, we're going to need to bring the zip ties. We're going to need to bring the 2 long bolts. We're going to need to bring a 7/16 ratchet, socket ratchet, and a 7/16 open ends box end, along with a screwdriver. So this is, and our tool that we got with the STARLINK mobility adapter. So now when we go out to our RV, we're going to see this. This piece here is the antenna adapter that stands up. I've pulled it off of my RV so I can show it to you. They're actually the same length. But anyway, this is where your antenna, your TV antenna was. Mine broke. That gave me the idea of putting this thing on there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take this off and get rid of it, and we don't need it. There's also 2 pins with C-clips on it. We're going to use a screwdriver, stick them in there, pop it off. Get off of there. Yeah, it's magnetic. And then we'll do the other one. There we go. We got them both off. Once we do that, we're done with the screwdriver. We're done with the clips. We pull those pins out, and we're done with the pins, the antenna. We're done with all that. We will not use those again, because now we're going to install the mobility adapter. We're going to take our mobility adapter. This part's got to go to the back, because that's the only way it's going to clear. Here we go. I'll stand it up to where we can see it better. That's the only way it's going to clear the back of the thing. Okay, now we're going to take our bolt. Doing them one at a time is probably easier. There it is. Run the bolt through there. You can't, I'm just watching it here. They're going to fit tight. There it is. Through there, out the other side. Put this screw on. Take this bolt. This bolt will run through this hole into here. And again, it's going to be kind of a tight fit. There it is. And they're designed to be a tight fit. We want them to be a tight fit. Push it all the way through. Get in there. There it is. Because we don't want the vibration to it. And now we're going to put this nut. This is the tough one here. Let me turn it this way so you can see in there. It's got to go in this hole through there. go from. Let me show you what we did do. We've made some changes since that one. That one's going on my rig, but we enlarged this hole because this 7/16 fits that. You can just stick it through that hole and screw it on there. And those of you that, so when you go to do this, you'll be able to feed it from this side, stick it through there. There you go. And then just use the ratchet to get her started on there, and away you go. That makes it a whole lot easier than what I'm fighting over there. But then you're going to tighten these up. That's it. You're going to put these on, you're going to tighten them up. And once you're done, you're really done. That's it. You're mounted. The next thing you want to do is you're going to follow the instructions that came with the mobility adapter. And if you see how it shows you how to route your wire, okay, so what you want to do is your cabling is you're going to come down this line, you're going to go through this hole right here, okay, and loop it back, stick it through here, and come up here to mount it onto your mount, okay? We pull this up, pull the old bracket off, take this, the STARLINK, you're going to have the cable run along here, looped back and out here. You're going to plug that cable right here in there, and then when you slide these two together, where this mobility, where this plugs here, will go here, and it holds your cable in tight. So then you take it, put it in there, it will self-center, and push it till it clicks in. And when you're done, that's it. Then you take your little tool that they give you, whatever I did with it, there it is, and we're going to tighten this up. One there, tighten those up, that's the instructions, and then you're done. This now sits on your roof. So let me go back. So once you get the bolts through here, you want to tighten them down, but just tight enough to get them snug. You don't want it to be squeezing because you want this to swivel smoothly, but you do want it tight enough that it doesn't vibrate. Vibration is what will wear things out. So you get those two on it and you're done. Put your cable where it needs to go and you're ready to go. So that's it. That's installation.